This whole project kind of came about because I was at the NAM show in Nashville and happened to see Chick and was able to go up on stage after the performance and meet him. And when I mentioned that I was a saxophonist, he said, "I've got this piece. And would you be interested in it?" And of course, I immediately said, "Absolutely, yes, please." Chick Corea writing a sonata for saxophone and piano sounds fantastic. I'd love to take a look.
I think personality is a good word to use if we're looking for what unifies the piece and its expression, because it sounds like Chick all the way through, Uh,
Right.
something there. It's not in the thematic connections or developments or anything, but just, you know, um, him, his personality coming through in the piece. What I notice about it, though, after getting to know it more intimately, is that it kind of alternates between these transitional sections, and then there's a tune, and a transition, and another tune, and a transition, and another tune. And the transitions generally are either you playing by yourself or me playing by myself. And so they're these sort of solo cadenzas, and then the two of us play a tune. And it kicks into a groove and holds together really well, really, danceable kind of music. And then goes off in another kind of free cadenza, and then comes back into focus again with the next tune. When I subtracted notes, that was one thing. But when I added notes, I wanted them to still be in the style of whatever it was that he has established, so that it still had his personality in it.
The intention is for the performers to find their own way of expressing each phrase, each section. Please feel free to change and vary tempi, play the rubato sections any way you feel. Feel free to improvise and alter the notes or add sections of improvisation. So, among other directions. Oh, and feel free also to cut and paste sections by repeating them or removing them. The composition is through written and written in blocks or modules of ideas. So this technique would be easy to apply to make a longer or shorter composition. Once we recorded this, we sent a copy of that to Chick, and he listened to it, and he was very complimentary about our playing and what we had done, saying, "I remember the composer is pleased," and he put a little emoticon, smiley emoticon at the end of it. So that was fun. And then we realized that he was going to be traveling to, DC, and we would be able to see him and possibly go backstage. So we arranged for that meeting, and he was very gracious and invited us backstage, and we had a nice conversation about the piece. And primarily, he was, I think he was inquisitive. He was asking about some of the structural things that we had done, some of the things that were done with the piano, checking about the instrument. I remember him asking, was I just using the alto or was I playing soprano as well through the piece? And so he was asking about what we had contributed. And then one of the comments that I remember vividly is his sense that he could have used more, more improvisation, more flexibility than to not be so careful. And with here we are, admiring Chick and his music, and feeling like he's this sort of giant in the field, and I think kind of taking his music pretty seriously as a result of that, and feeling like we there was a sense of honor to keeping what he had written intact in many ways, and him sort of responding back and saying, I could still use more of your personality in it, and more of your improvisation and individual stamp. So I that was again a surprise, but a great surprise, and one that I think if we do this again, I'm sure that we will expand those elements too.